Hi everyone. Okay, so in my last video, it was an autism one talking about having intense interests if you're someone with autism. It's very common and it can be a really positive thing in most cases, but there is also a negative of just, you know, if you let it get out of hand and it becomes an obsession or causes you to procrastinate, that's going to cause low achievement and so on and so forth. It can be a bit of a chain reaction. Anyway, if you're interested in hearing about that, you just gotta check out the video. But for this one, I'm going to be talking about ADHD again. More specifically, something called Dysthymic disorder, or DD, which is a disorder to do with your mood that is often associated with ADHD or is present in people, coexists with it a lot of the time in people. So yeah, I'm just going to go into that. But anyway, before I say so, I gotta make a mention. If you like the video and you want to see more, follow, like, comments, you know, questions or queries, well, that's the same thing. You know, thoughts, anything really you want to put in the comments, you put them there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and repost the video because I really enjoy it. Anyway, okay, so Dysthymic disorder. It's shortened to be called DD, of course. And what it is it's a disorder that affects your mood. So it can cause sort of long-term or lasting mood of sadness or anxiety, low self-esteem, basically make you feel really low. Not quite depressed, but essentially empty. So not pleasant. But it's often associated with ADHD because I think it's around 50% sometimes of people with ADHD in certain groups can have both conditions at the same time. And the issue is it's very similar to ADHD because there are lots of symptoms it has that overlap with ADHD, which can make, first off, diagnosis difficult, actually deciding, do you have ADHD, do you have DD, do you have both? Which, the longer that goes on, can make treatment difficult because, as with ADHD, you can get medications and stuff, and there's all sorts of medications to help with all sorts of disorders. They're not cures, you know, they don't make things or symptoms go away, but they certainly help manage them until you can do it yourself, or if you can't do it yourself, that's fine too, you know. Everyone needs a little help, a little support, that's the point. That's what these videos are about, you know. I'm trying to give support by just relaying information, essentially. Anyway. So, the parts of the symptoms that overlap are things like irritability or low self-esteem. Again, really bad. And one of the reasons why it's so bad is because when they overlap, they can actually make already existing difficulties and challenges even more worse, you know, and affect the impairment, I suppose. And also sleep disturbances, that's another thing. ADHD, I've done a video on that, about how your ADHD can affect your sleep pattern, and it can really affect it. In other words, you find difficult to go to sleep, stay asleep, to wake up, and if you have a lack of sleep, anyone who's ever been awake for too long will know that they feel drained, they feel low, their mind doesn't feel very attentive, and with ADHD it's already not that attentive, so not good. But yeah, so, and DD, or Dysthymic disorder, also has that issue with sleep disturbances. Now, when it comes to treatment, it's like, it's a really difficult one to say, because when it comes to your mood, it's very variable, right? It's, or varied, sorry. It can be up, it can be down, and DD specifically deals with the mood. But when you have ADHD and difficulties get out of hand, you already start feeling low self-esteem and you already start feeling irritable. And I suppose having DD just makes it worse. But that's the thing, the difference is ADHD is there from birth, right? So you're already dealing with those difficulties. But dysthymia can be caused from an inability to treat ADHD, or like when treatments are ineffective, I suppose, when they don't work, when you're not getting the correct support, because those difficulties just continue to get out of hand. Now, it's, when it comes to like the mental struggle, it's difficult, right? That's the best word I can think of. It's not impossible to deal with, but it's difficult. And it's really easy to say things like, oh, well, you just gotta think more positively, but in reality, it's not that easy, because even if you are trying to think positively, your brain is still going to go down a negative spiral, which is why raising awareness for these things, not just ADHD, but even the disorders and psychiatric conditions that can be associated with it, is really important. Like in my last one, I was talking about major depression. See? Now, if you get diagnosed with both, just knowing that you have both diagnoses sometimes can affect your mental health in a very negative way. But it's always important to hear from people, especially people who have experience or people who know what they're talking about, and in a light-hearted situation, you know, in a very relaxed situation, as opposed to something very formal like a doctor's office, that it's okay to feel that way, and it's okay to let yourself feel down. But it's not the end of the road, alright? Things get better, they do. But anyway, that's why I think it's important just to cover these subjects. Now, dysthymia is something I'm very recently familiar with, which is why I'm finding it hard actually to find the words to convey what I'm thinking. So if anyone has dysthymia, please put some details in the comments, if you don't mind, of course, because it might be something quite personal to you. But yeah, because if people put their thoughts in the comments, their experiences and such, it'll give me a better idea of how to go about talking about these things. Just because I have autism and ADHD, and some days it's really hard for me to get what's in my head out in the open. So I think that's all I really needed to say about dysthymia. Yeah, it's got lots of overlapping conditions with ADHD, and sometimes that can make the conditions worse, like doubling them. But it's okay, you know, treatment is available as long as you look in the right places, and it's always good just to hear from other people, you know, that they understand where you're coming from. That in itself, if you ask me, is a good form of treatment. Anyway, so I think I'll end it there today. Also, my brain's feeling really fuzzy, not like a headache, but like I'm just, ugh. Anyway, so I'm getting a bit fogged now, mentally, but tomorrow I will be talking about autism again, so if you want to check that video out, or if you like this one, then please, like I said earlier, follow, like, leave a comment, questions in the comments, thoughts, anything that you want to put in there, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and repost the video. Until then, I really hope you enjoy your day, and whoever you are, don't feel down, okay, because there is lots of things to enjoy in the world, there's lots of things to love or to be interested in, and there's always people who will understand where you're coming from. So with that, I bid you adieu, and I hope you enjoy your day. Bye!